Guys, welcome back. Hope everybody's keeping safe and well. Today I want to talk about something that I get asked all the time after documenting my weight loss online, and it's, did I hit a weight loss plateau? Yes, absolutely I did, and I'll get into that in this video. But first of all, for those of you who might not be familiar with the word plateau, what a weight loss plateau is, it's basically when you've been losing weight consistently over a certain period of time, all of a sudden it seems to just stop. So if you've been losing weight and you've been recording how many pounds you've been losing each week or each month, all of a sudden your weight loss will stall or stop. It could be that you've tried something different, but more than often it's because you've been doing exactly the same thing and you can't understand why when doing something you've been losing weight consistently, you're doing the same thing and you're not getting results from it. Your weight loss just seems to pause. Now, I have gone through many weight loss plateaus. It took me about a year to lose the bulk of my weight, 5.5 stone, and I hit a plateau multiple times. I understand just how disheartening it can be. It can be very demotivating. You can feel like giving up. You can feel like your body's not capable of losing any more weight, so why should you carry on? I really understand. So I think it's really important to put this video out. I've learned to sort of accept weight loss plateaus, but I've also learned a few tips and tricks to get me out of them. So I've put this video together today just to give you some general advice and some general information if your weight loss is stalling, but also some tips and tricks you can do to help get yourself out of a plateau. So the first thing I think that we really need to bear in mind with weight loss plateaus is that they are completely normal. If you speak to anybody who's lost a large amount of weight and you ask them at some point, did your weight loss stall? I think the answer is going to be an absolute yes. The main thing with weight loss is that consistency is key, and although it's frustrating, sometimes it's just about riding out these plateaus and knowing that at some point your weight loss is going to pick back up again. It's also understanding that weight loss isn't linear. Some weeks you're going to lose weight, some weeks you're not, some weeks you might gain for no logical reason. And as women, we have our periods, we have lack of sleep, we have stress, we have hormones. All sorts of things can make us lose and gain weight. It's not a straightforward line. So it's sort of accepting that if you are looking at losing a large amount of weight, you won't be having these losses every single week. Point 2 is to make sure you're checking your calories. You need to make sure that you're eating enough, and you're also needing to make sure that you're in a calorie deficit. Now, going back briefly to point 1, when I've said about weight loss plateaus, that they can be completely normal, and they are normal. Some people can sort of jump the gun. If you haven't lost weight in a couple of weeks, or it's been 3 weeks and you haven't seen the scale drop, that's the point where it's probably quite normal, and unfortunately you've just got to ride it out for a little bit, see what happens. If you're then 3 months down the line and you still haven't lost any weight, then it might be time to reevaluate your calories. You need to firstly make sure that you're eating enough calories. So you need to keep your metabolism going. So do some research into how many calories you should be eating. As I've always said in every video, I don't recommend anybody eating under 1,200 calories a day. But you can have a look at calorie deficit calculators online and they will help you with that, or you can speak to your doctor, do a bit more research into a calorie deficit, and make sure that you're eating enough. I know from personal experience that it stalled my weight loss when I wasn't eating enough calories. Now, on the flip side, you also do want to make sure that you are in a calorie deficit. It can be very, very easy to underestimate how many calories we're actually eating. So you've also got things like hidden calories. Alcohol is awful for this. Hidden calories in drinks, in sauces and dressings, and actually you can be eating a lot more than you realise. So if you've gone a couple of months and you're not losing any weight, it might be time to use something like MyFitnessPal, a calorie deficit tracker, and just make sure that you are counting your calories correctly and that you are in a calorie deficit. Point number 3 is to try not to focus too much on the pounds on the scale, and to have a look at measurements or what you actually see yourself in your body, how your clothes feel. I get a lot of messages from people saying, why am I not losing weight? I'm tracking my calories, I'm watching my diet, I'm now really hitting the workouts, I'm hitting the gym, I'm doing exercise, why am I not losing weight? And I will say to them, well, there is your answer. If you are somebody who didn't work out before and you are now hitting the gym and you're now running and you're doing all sorts of exercise to try to get that number down on the scales, you will be building muscle. We all know that muscle and fat does weigh the same. Obviously everything weighs the same, but muscle is a lot more dense and it takes up less space. So you're not going to be seeing the figures dropping down on the scales, but your body will still be changing where you're building muscle. So bear in mind, if you are working out more or you're exercising, you're someone who goes to the gym a lot, you might not see your results on the scales. You'll see your results on your measurements in your body instead. So don't focus too much on the weight on the scales. If the pounds aren't dropping, your body could still be changing. Point number 4 is to add some exercise into your lifestyle. Now, when I was losing weight, I wasn't exercising at all. I wasn't going to the gym, I wasn't working out. My weight loss was solely down to being in a calorie deficit diet alone. However, when I did hit a weight loss plateau, I'd find that if I started going for long walks, or just introducing a few just easy workouts into my lifestyle, my weight loss would pick back up again. Something to bear in mind, you don't have to be hitting the gym really hard, you don't have to be out there running or taking HIIT classes, but just start including maybe a few 20-minute walks into your day each week. If you can go for, a 20-minute, half an hour walk 3 days a week, you are going to start noticing some changes to your body. Walking is brilliant. I'm such an advocate for walking. I don't think you need to be out running and jogging if you're not capable of doing that, you're not comfortable of doing that. Walking can really aid with weight loss. So just try adding some subtle exercise into your lifestyle. Point 5 is to make sure that you're having a look at what you're eating and make sure that you've got some protein in your diet. Now, I'm an absolute lover of sweet things. I'm all about eating sugar. I still eat fast food. I do not cut any foods out at all. I never have. I would always eat my carbs. I'd always eat my sugar. I'd always eat my fats. But do make sure that you've got protein in your diet. It's really good for boosting your metabolism. It's also good for muscle repair, keeping you fuller longer. So do just have a little reevaluate of what you're eating in your diet and really focus on those protein sources. Get as much in there as you can and hopefully your weight loss will start to pick up again. 6 is something that I don't think spoken about enough when it comes to weight loss. I think we look at just diet and exercise and we sort of base it around those two things, but lack of sleep and high stress levels really can affect your weight loss. I'm not going to go too much scientifically into this because my weight loss was a lot about my diet. I haven't done loads of research into stress and sleep, but I know myself that when I'm stressed, I like to eat more. I just notice that my body's run down. It's not able to lose the weight. It's not able to sort of fight and work at its best. So just make sure that you're getting enough sleep and just check your stress levels. There's so many ways you can have a look online. You can look on YouTube at ways of bringing down stress levels, things like yoga. Everybody has different ways that they like to relax. I like to read. I like to draw. I have my sort of little rituals that I go to when I'm quite stressed. But sort of have a look at your stress levels and your sleep, because weight loss is all about looking at everything on a whole in your lifestyle, not just your diet and your exercise. Point number 7 is to have a go at intermittent fasting. Now, if you follow me on social media or you've seen my videos before, you'll know that I'm a big fan of intermittent fasting. I'm currently doing it at the moment. I take it slightly more extreme where I only eat for 2 hours a day and I fast for 22 hours a day. That works really well for me, but I don't recommend anybody new to intermittent fasting jumping in with that kind of 22-hour fast. Something that works really well for people is a 16-8, so you don't eat for 16 hours, then you eat for 8 hours throughout the day. You can do so much research online into intermittent fasting, find the plan that works for you, and just try it for a couple of days. It's something that a lot of people who've been in weight loss plateau sort of scream out that that's what helps get them out of it. So intermittent fasting could be something that would work for you. As I say, sort of do a lot more research into it before starting. I always recommend knowing what you're doing, making sure that it's healthy for you. But intermittent fasting is basically where you only eat for a certain amount of hours, and then you will fast for a certain amount of hours. You'll give your body time to start processing fat, to build up your metabolism. It's something that I absolutely love. It's worked for me. I won't go too much into it now. People know that I'm really, really pro it, so I don't want to go off on a tangent. You can check out my other videos on intermittent fasting, but mixing up your diet and trying something like that hopefully will just start to kickstart things again. So tip number 8 is something that I don't have too much of a scientific background on. It's not something that I've seen a lot of research onto this working, but it worked for me massively. It's my biggest point in how I got myself out of weight loss plateaus would be that I would have a cheat night. I don't know scientifically if this works, if it's supposed to work, but I found that when I was trying to lose weight and it had been a few weeks and I'd found myself in a plateau and I wasn't too sure what to do, instead of eating less calories, I would actually have a massive blowout. So I would have a cheat night, I'd eat everything I wanted, I'd have pizza, I'd get all of my cravings out of my system. And I would find, especially in the few days after I'd done this, that my body would start losing weight again. It really worked for me, whether it was just kick-starting my metabolism, whether my body got a bit excited and was like, yeah, time to start fat burning again, I don't know, but it really worked. Now, if you're finding sort of each week you're not losing weight and you think, okay, I'll get out of this because Hayley said to have a cheat night, it's not something that you should be doing every week. Chances are you're then going to take yourself out of a calorie deficit. But if it's been sort of 3 or 4 weeks where you find that you're counting your calories and it's not really working, try having a cheat night. The worst that will happen is nothing, that it won't start picking up again. One cheat night isn't going to make you gain weight. It's really not. It doesn't happen overnight like that, gaining weight, just like it doesn't happen overnight losing weight. So one cheat night will not set you back. It will not do any damage at all. But it's something that I found really, really helpful to kickstart out of a weight loss plateau. Tip number 9 is something that I wanted to end this video on quite a positive note, and it's to look how far you've come. My point here is, if you are in a weight loss plateau, that means that you have been losing weight and you have now recognized that your weight loss is stalling. But for that to happen, that means that you've already lost weight. So that's something for you to be proud of. So for anybody who's, looking into weight loss plateaus, they're recognizing and they're tracking their weight on the scales, that means that weight loss is probably a goal of yours. If you're trying to achieve weight loss, the fact that you have achieved a weight loss plateau means that you have already achieved weight loss. Weight loss is not linear. You're not going to be dropping pounds every week. As I said earlier, it's completely normal, but don't give yourself such a hard time. The fact that you've lost some sort of weight on your weight loss goal is an achievement in itself, and you should be really proud of that. One of my biggest tips was that I used to take transformation pictures of my journey along the way, so that if I was feeling demotivated or I wasn't seeing the pounds drop, I could have a look at the bigger picture at how much weight I'd lost overall. Or I could say, I'm in this size clothing now where I was in this size clothing a couple of months ago. It doesn't matter if the numbers aren't dropping at the moment, I'm still in this size clothing. So don't give yourself a hard time. Look at the bigger picture. Look how far you've come along with this. And there are bigger things to worry about, guys, than not losing a couple of pounds. We shouldn't be beating ourselves up over that. The world has bigger problems in terms of our self-esteem and our confidence. We absolutely shouldn't be knocking ourselves for our weight staying the same. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. As I say, it really is the number one question that I get asked all the time over on social media. Is did I hit a weight loss plateau? So if you are watching this and you are in a weight loss plateau, please believe me that at some point you're going to come out of it. Don't give up, don't feel demotivated, don't give yourself too much of a hard time, whether you choose to do nothing and ride it out naturally until you start losing weight again, or whether you take some steps, like tracking your calories, or whether you look at intermittent fasting or you add some exercise to try and come out of the plateau a bit quicker. At some point it's going to end, guys, and you are going to keep working towards your goals. You can find me over on social media, on Instagram, Hayley's Weight Loss Journey with a kiss at the end. As always, I'll link it down below. I do have an October giveaway coming up where I've teamed up with another company. So if you're interested in that, head on over, give that a follow. If you've enjoyed this video, it's been beneficial to you, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you do like this kind of content, I am just a normal, hopefully quite relatable 30-year-old female who's gone through weight loss, and I share my tips and tricks on honest and healthy weight loss. If you're interested in that, please do hit subscribe to keep supporting this channel. But I will stop waffling now, guys. I hope you have a great week, and I will catch you in the next video.